What is up, everybody? It's your man, the Dark Lord Thor Gunnison. Welcome to another exciting episode of Sith Happens. Today, we got some ups, we got some downs, we got some new releases. We're going to talk about some pieces, collectibles that just went up for pre-order. Some are shipping now. Then we're going to talk about, with the Game of Thrones writers coming in to be commissioned to do a new trilogy. Does that mean there's a rumor out there could be the end of the anthology idea? And then we're going to review the two Rebels episodes that debuted on Monday. So that should be the spoiler alert. If you haven't seen them, you might want to go watch them before you watch this show. So with that said, we got the usual suspects. Got our man on the left coast, JC, Jedi Chris. What's happening, brother?
Hello, it's good to be here.
And as always, from the outer rim, we got our boy, the bounty hunter, Paradox Fett. What's happening, my brother?
Jin Urso!
See, I guess it's genetics. I got the.
Oh, come on!
Come on, size matters not. Master Yoda said it.
How you wave your lightsaber. That's all that matters.
So how you guys doing this week?
Good, man. Good. Can't wait to start to show up. We got some good topics.
Oh gosh,
man. Yeah, I've been waiting for this whole week, man. I can't wait to talk to you about all these awesome topics.
Oh yeah, the end of the show with the topic. That's the one I'm looking most forward to because oh, man, the first thing I thought about after I watched it, I said, "Man, Sith Happens gonna be special this week."
Yeah.
So anybody getting
like Chris shed a tear and stuff, right?
Yeah, you the first one I thought about. Trust me. Anybody get any pieces in or anything pre-ordered or?
Oh shoot.
Nothing. Actually, I've been taking a look at the some of the SH figure arts. Chris, have you're familiar with them, right?
I am actually. I ordered the Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight from Tokyo. And I should be here next week. So I ordered two of them so I can keep one in the package and then the other one so I can play with it while I'm talking to you guys on the show.
Actually, when I went to the Toy Fair convention earlier this week, Bandai announced that SH Figure Arts is done by Bandai?
That's correct.
Sure. So from what I heard down the grapevine that they might be bringing it to the States. So, so it'll be a lot cheaper from what I heard. So that's some exciting news.
Maybe addicts like us. I mean, we're probably going to go broke,
Yeah, I know. I mean, probably out of all the 6-inch figure line, SH Figure Arts really nails down the likeness and the like the articulation and everything, also hiding like the ball joints. That's pretty cool. So I'm really excited, but I don't know, man. I've been like, I don't know about you guys, but I've been into like a Star Wars, like vehicle, like mode, like, like I want to pick up some of like the, those Bandai plastic, was it model kits and just put them together and just have like a slew of like freaking vehicles like at my disposal and just display it. And they're cheap too. Like Barnes Noble sell them for like $20-$30. So I figured that would be like a bonding moment between me, my kids and I. Like we'll put them together and paint them or whatever, We
might get into next week because even my wife stepped to me talking about the Jabba sail barge that they're putting out, 4 feet long. She said, "You gonna get that?" I was like, "Ain't no room for no sail barge down here." You know what I mean? So maybe when they show us more pictures, we'll talk about that. I'm sorry, JC, I cut you off, man.
Oh no, not at all. I just think the ships are a good idea. I mean, decorate your office or what have you, so you have stuff hanging from the ceiling and the windows and the shelves and I see this being a new addiction.
Oh yeah, definitely. Did you guys see? I know it's not like it's kind of cute. I figure I'll pick it for my kids. Is the Chewbacca one that like it's like almost like a Tickle Me Elmo, but it's like a Tickle Me like Chewbacca toy that they had a video of. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it kind of like I figure I pick it for my son because he loves Chewbacca. So it's one of those things like you could put him to sleep, you could carry him. He actually talks. It's like pretty cool.
Growls or So, with that being said, it's a good thing we're talking about figures. From the mystical land of the Force, we're going to put some. There you go. So this is the Yoda legendary scale from. Whoa, okay. Guess the Force ain't wants to see that one. There we go. Okay. So this one, of course, for me, I was on the fence about. This is XM Vader evolution. It shows him as a child, shows him Anakin turning to the dark side, and eventually when he turns into Darth Vader. I like the Vader. It's just they make you buy all three of them together. This one is like an edition size of like 250, so it's extremely rare, and I think it's around 1,700 US for the whole thing. But I just don't. I would never display the Anakins. You know what I mean? So the Vader looks great. Anakins look okay. But for me, it's just the fact they make you buy all three is like a turn off for me. I mean, I love how the Vader looks. If one day it came down to a reasonable price, I'd get it and just keep the two Anakins in the box. But Paradox, what do you think about this one, man?
Yeah, I'm like Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. Those are like my favorite characters of all time in terms of the Star Wars universe. I like it. I mean, I just, like you said, 1,700. I kind of wish they separated them. Like you didn't have to buy all three at a price. I mean, all together for one price. I would rather pick up. To be honest, I really like the older Anakin and the Darth Vader. I would pick those two up. I just wouldn't pick the younger Anakin because I thought he was kind of annoying. Right. So, but I like I said, like that Darth Vader. I kind of wish they had a different pose. It's so, it's typical the Darth Vader on his, the hands on the belt kind of like pose. I wish they picked something else, but it looks great. I mean, but for me, I would have to find it at a really good price or something. Yeah, but I highly doubt I would find something like that on a good price because that's three statues. So I don't know. I would have rather picked. Maybe there's so many companies that will come out with the Darth Vader. Iron Studios, Sideshow. I'm happy with my Iron Studios, so I think I'll pass on this one for now.
Yeah, when they said that XM was making a Vader, I was praying. I had my fingers crossed that it would be the meditation chamber. And they showed this, and I was like, oh, okay. I mean, but that's to me, that's always been my favorite pose with him. Yeah. So that's why it's still a possibility. But if I never get it, I got Iron Studios, I got Mythos. So I'm happy. I don't need, like, we've been over this before. I don't need like 15 Vaders. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even though that's my boy, but I want some variety in my collection. Jedi Chris, what do you think about this one, man? Just for figure wise.
Well, I think it's a really good concept. The fact you see the evolution, you see the innocent child from Tatooine that was a slave, won his freedom, and then becomes the Padawan, becomes the Jedi Knight, gets corrupted, and teeters over the dark side, gets damaged on Mustafar. Now you've got the end result of Vader with all his glory and Sith, scary armor that he wears. But I have to agree with you guys. I think $1,700 for three big statues. It's like, wow. I mean, if you divide the price up, 1,700 divided by three. I mean, it's pretty, it's pretty decent per statue. But not too many people like the young Anakin. So I'm not sure. People are like, well, I really like the Anakin / Vader before the battle damage. So maybe it's kind of like, well, I bought two statues for this price. I'm kind of getting the young Anakin for free. So I mean, it's all about your perception. Would I have room for all three of them in my place? No. Agreeing with Thor, yeah, there's a lot of different variations of Darth Vader. I really do think the hyperbaric meditation chamber that he has, I think would be awesome. I know it'd be large, but that would be something I would seriously consider. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think right now, I know there's fans out there that are probably going, "You guys are wrong. This is great." And yeah, maybe we all have our own likes, so that's kind of where we're at. But
yeah,
that's another thing I consider. This thing, I mean, if you displayed all of them, would take up some serious real estate.
Mm-hmm. It would. Absolutely.
They showed at the con, this thing was like, all three of them together was gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but Iron Studios takes up a lot of Darth Vader takes up a lot of space, especially when he's lightsabers to the side. So
Oh yeah.
I just don't have room for that. But yeah, moving on.
But moving on, yeah, we got this is something I'm considering and actually making a plan. Yeah, this is XM Studios, Luke Skywalker. Obviously, this is from Empire Strikes Back when he got his snow speeder shot down rather, and when he's looking up at the AT-AT and about to shoot up the wire to go plant the bomb inside, and this I think the main thing with this is, with Boba was their first piece. And for some reason, it hasn't really caught on. It goes for big money. It goes for regular, pretty good, about $700-800 you can get one ship. So my prediction with this is you wait a while, you might be able to get this at a good price. So that's my plan. I'm going to sit in the weeds and wait. I know.
Crouching tiger, hidden Thor.
You're going to be like, gotcha.
Yeah. JC, I know there's your man here, man. What do you think about this one?
He is. It's funny. The TIE Fighter snow speeder pilot outfit was never one of my favorite action figures until I became, an adult. And of course, that is still open to interpretation. But I really, looking at this statue, I mean, the detail of his face. I mean, he's got the helmet with the lens down, not the blast shield, but the lens, what have you. And you still see that intense expression on his face. Like he's looking up at this AT-AT going, man, this is now or never. And it's like, all the things that could go wrong will happen right now. But if I don't do anything, far worse is going to happen. You see that on his face. Right. And that is like the coolest thing ever, and the detail of his suit and everything. I thought, well, Chris, if you want more orange in your background, I mean, this would be the one to do it. I really do like it. And I think the price isn't that bad either. So, yeah, I'm seriously considering that one. I think Luke Jedi is my favorite, but I would have to say Bespin, that's my second favorite. And then, of course, the pilot outfit is my third. So absolutely. What about you there, Paradox?
It's probably one of the best Luke Skywalker face sculpts I've seen on a statue. I mean, compared to sideshows, I mentioned how much I don't like that one, but this one looks great, man. With just like the pose itself is different. I love the snow speeder like crash into the snow. This is an awesome statue, man. Like the paint application, I could tell like looks great. The orange is like vibrant. I don't know, guys. Like I'm trying to remember the scene itself. Like he always had the lightsaber? He never had it on, like when he was like catapulting.
When he got up to the actual AT, he used the lightsaber and cut open the panel and then placed the charge inside, and then he released it and he fell back down to the ground. Yeah. That's when he lit up the lightsaber.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of light up features. So I always want to have like a saber light up. But yeah, I mean it's mimicking the scene itself when he's still on the snow speeder. So it kind of makes sense like why they wouldn't have a lightsaber turned on or in his left hand or something. But it's an awesome statue, man. I'm sorry.
Great likeness too.
Yeah, the likeness is amazing, man. Probably like I said, the best Luke Skywalker face sculpt on any statue, hands down. But yeah. But I just want. Here we go.
So
we're moving on.
This is the legendary scale Yoda. Now Yoda is, I'm Darth Vader's my boy to the end, but Yoda was always my favorite Jedi. So at some point, I'm gonna have to get a hold of this. This looks incredible. I mean, absolutely sick. Paradox. What do you think about this, man?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks better than the was it the legendary scale one, right?
I think this is legendary. They had another.
I mean, no, the life size. I'm sorry, it looks a lot better than the life size. I apologize, but it's at a good price point. I mean, was it $700?
$700,
yeah, that's not really bad, man. Compared to some of the life size busts that they're coming out with, which is like $1,200. This is a steal, man. Like, and look at that. Like, you got Is that like real, like
Yeah,
not synthetic hair or something?
something.
yeah.
I mean, they
It's not-
tackled some kind of horse or something. I don't know what they did, but that's I mean, look,
or pulled it off from
yeah, they did something, but I mean, the veins in the hands and the nail. I mean,
oh man, stop talking about. I don't know, man. Like I'm trying to stick to the dark side.
Light, do you?
I can't. I'm gonna be like Darth Revan. I'm gonna be like bouncing back and forth between the light and dark side, man. Look at that. There's a mosquito. A dragonfly.
Dragonfly, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude.
I needed some snakes on here, and it's a done deal.
Oh yeah.
That looks amazing. And look at the weathering on his in his robe, man. That looks pretty awesome. I can't. I'm putting back to the light side. Chris, what do you think, man? Before I turn into a Jedi here.
Yeah, no worries. No, your secret's safe. So. No, I the detail of his face, his head, the hair. I mean, it's just so amazing. And then you look at his clothes, and like you said, it's weathered, and all the stuff he's wearing. And then, it makes it look like it's like a still photograph of the actual Yoda. It's so lifelike. It's ridiculous, like the detail that these guys have on the statue. And then when you look at the swamp, and you've got just taking the time putting a little dragonfly and the roots of the tree that he's standing on, and to me it's very simple but very detailed. And to me, I like it because it doesn't look like it takes up a whole lot of space, because how some of the bases kind of extend out really far to add to the actual statue itself. But this one's actually very subdued, but it's got just enough detail where he's on Dagobah, he's out there, whether he's talking to Luke or he's contemplating what's going on. I really do like it. It's one of those things. Same with Paradox. It's like I might have to find room in the house for that.
Yeah,
I think that would be great. Good addition.
Sorry,
that's all.
No. So moving on.
Wait, just real quick. I should give a shout out to Aaron Ruiz, and he quoted Yoda, "You will be. You will be."
Paradox. I'm gonna let you lead off on this one. You take it.
I don't know, man. That looks. I love it. It's probably all right. By the way, guys, sorry, I'm moving on. This is the Boba himself life-size bust. Wow, that looks freaking amazing. Look at that, like just the detail on his helmet, on like his chest piece. I think it lights up too, right?
Yeah,
like
I think the chest lights up.
Yeah, articulated helmet. So if you want him to look a certain way, that's awesome, man. The visor also. I mean, the rangefinder moves. Yeah,
Yes,
this is awesome.
Oh man,
lifestyle.
That's sick.
Yeah, look at the detail on that, man. Like you can't get any better than that. They did an awesome job. Sideshow, hands down, man. Like they did a really awesome job with this life-size bust, and probably the best one compared to that Kylo Ren. It's just too bad. It's just like out of my price range, like $1,200, man. That's a lot of money for.
Is that how much it is?
Yeah, I think so.
They're going Thanos style on this, huh?
Yeah, they went.
Of course.
Well, I think all the life-size busts now is like no less than like 1,000. I mean, some of them, but yeah, this one. But look, it looks amazing, man.
I'm not in the bus, but this is really, really nice. I mean, this is like the best one beside that XM Venom. This is the best one I've seen. That's crazy, man. I mean, look
at the scrapes and the dents and the the weathered look. I mean, like this guy's been through a lot of stuff, and it looks so real. And I think the only disappointment I think Paradox is feeling is he can't actually wear that. I think it looks like if it was a costume you could put it on. We know it's not, but I mean to have that much detail, I'd be proud to wear that thing.
I want to take a picture like with it like right next to it and just kind of like put my arm around it.
I think the whole Collectiverse crew we need to throw in and get you this.
I know, right?
No BS.
Yeah, no, that's pretty awesome, man. Yeah, but I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. It's a good life-size bust, man. I would get it if it was cheaper, but it's just a little out of my price range. Look at that. What a happy guy.
Right?
He's standing next to. Oh, here we go. Humana.
According to my
Humana.
design.
This is, disclaimer. I can't do hot toys because I'm too old now. I ain't got the patience to be posing all this stuff. But man, I really put some thought into this one. But I just said I can't do it. I can't be posing. Man, this looks crazy. This is the Palpatine 1/6 scale hot toys, and it's. I mean, I've been dying for Palpatine. That's the statue I need, like in 1/4 scale.
Yeah.
So Sideshow, if you're listening, please make us a Palpatine, man.
Just make it, Sideshow. You'll be making so much money from all of us. Yeah, but this, oh man, I'm definitely getting this one. Look at like the head sculpt. That's almost perfect.
I know, right?
I don't see anything wrong with it. It's like, plus you get the throne, like, well, that's I think it's in the deluxe version, but still, I mean, how could you buy it without, how could you buy the Emperor without the throne? You need the throne, look at that, like, force lightning that's coming out of his hand. That's awesome.
Alas, young Skywalker, you will die.
So be it.
About a great many things.
We'll be here the whole episode's us just like
doing Palpatine,
doing voiceovers.
But look at the chair, man. Like the light that's like shining down on him. That's like freaking awesome. I don't know, Jedi Chris, what do you think about this, man?
I really hope that if the chair doesn't come with it, that there's an option to get it at a not too expensive price, because you're gonna have to have at least 2 of the guards, which I know we'll be talking about them here in a second, but having him flanked by 2 of his royal guards would be like really awesome. But the force lightning, when I looked at that, I kept trying to enlarge the picture, and I'm like, it's so amazing. I love it. So would I buy that? Yeah, you betcha. But I gotta get the Luke Skywalker first. That's I have to preface that first. Luke,
yeah,
then the Emperor. Yeah.
I have the Hot Toys Rogue One Vader, and he's missing his master, man. So I really, I need this Palpatine. One of my favorite Sith Lords of all time, man. Hot Toys, man. If any statue company nails the likeness of this of the Emperor, and I'm on that pre-order day one with the statues.
Ain't no doubt about it. So before we all go down from pain, please move on to the next statue, please, God.
Yeah. Keep staring at me.
This is even worse. We need statues of these guys too, man. So this is the Royal Guard Hot Toys 1/6 scale. These are mandatory. If you get the Emperor, you gotta have these guys too. So, man, they look great. I mean, they look great. I've been wanting these, and the 3/4 scale. I need these guys. I need the Emperor. I need Lando Calrissian. After that, everything is open game. But JC, what do you think, man?
Honestly, what I like about these statues, because in the movies you don't really see the other arm. You see the one holding the staff. You don't see, but in the comic books, they're in, because they're like the elite soldiers. They fight. They're like very much like karate ninja type stuff with the staffs. But here, the actual statue has the hands out, looking like it's combat pose, and I just think that is so freaking awesome. So yeah, would I buy one of these? I had to buy 2. I mean, you get the Emperor, like you said, you got to buy 2 at least. So I mean, talk about good marketing right there. I mean, even the helmet with the lens, everything looks like we're talking cinema perfect. It's awesome.
Yeah. For me, my only gripe, they look amazing, beautiful. Like I would definitely get one, but there's no 2-pack. Why?
Really?
No, it's a single pack, and that's like Hot Toys trying to capitalize on because we're not gonna get 1 Royal Guard, we're gonna get 2, so it's $200 each. So I just don't understand why they didn't do a 2-pack.
$200 a piece, and you only get 1.
Yeah, and you get 1 freaking accessory. It's his freaking staff. So, wow. And a couple of pairs of hands. But yeah, they missed the mark, man. They should have did it as a 2-pack. made it cheaper because the other Stormtrooper 2-packs were like 350, 340, around that price range. So yeah, I don't understand why they did that, but they knew the popularity of the Royal Guards and the Emperor, so they knew that people were going to buy them regardless if it's a two-pack or not. So
to get the whole thing, we talking at least $600 to get 200.
Yeah.
How much is the Emperor?
The deluxe version is like 300.
Oh man, so that's $700 total.
Yeah,
well, maybe if we can talk to Sideshow, if they really, if they're looking for some ideas. I'm a huge fan of the Crimson Empire, series, and that's when they were looking for the elite. They started out with 6 guys and ended up with 2. I think that hint would be awesome to pack. Somebody might buy. Just saying.
I totally agree, man. And when are they gonna? While we're moving on, just really quick, why don't they do any freaking like Royal Guard statues, man? They're just missing out on.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean that one that's probably like $400, and we're probably gonna end up buying 2 of them. So,
JC, we're gonna let you lead off on this one, bro.
Would this be the Luke Skywalker or Jedi Luke Skywalker Deluxe that's being released between December 2018 and January 2019? For well under $300. That if Sideshow would let me, I would order it today. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. This one, when I was looking at the current Luke Skywalkers, the one in the white robes and with the beard, and then the other one, what do you want to call that? The exile Luke. Then all of a sudden, a week or so later, bam, this one shows up, and I went, no, it's got everything. It's every part of Return of the Jedi. They've got every single part of the costume, hands. Jedi Chris wants this really, 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 really badly. Sideshow, hint. Jedi Chris really, really wants this one. I like it. I mean, that would be one I would probably tinker with every week. Put him in a different pose, just for the heck of it. Put him next to my Darth Vader statue. Again, thanks, Paradox. So yeah, I mean, the detail of the face. I mean, when it comes to the 1/6 scale, Sideshow, when they with their hot toys, I find it interesting. You actually see the pores in their skin. I mean, it's scary. It's so lifelike. It's ridiculous, and they're really awesome. I already ordered the Obi-Wan post Clone Wars, pre New Hope, so I'm waiting for that one. It'll be out around Christmas time, and this is the other one I really want. Bad. So I'm gonna shut up now. Caffeine's kicking in. So what do you guys think?
Piggybacking off of that, you got the speeder bikes they're releasing.
Oh my gosh!
So better dig in that Christmas fun there, JC.
Yeah, that's gonna be a big diorama right here in the living room. So,
oh wow!
Right next to the Christmas tree. That'd be awesome.
What do you think the Paradox quick for Luke Skywalker?
Yeah, it looks amazing. Sideshow is really stepping up their game with their 1/6 scale line, and I really like the Return of the Jedi version and the Scout. Was it the? Wait, just really quick, isn't both of them in the deluxe version? You get both of them.
Yeah, you get the robe. The one is in Jedi Palace. You get the indoor battle fatigues, and then you have that underneath. You got the what do you call that? The uniform with the white flap. There you go.
Wow, that's a steal, man. That's amazing.
The price is good too. That's what I'm like, damn, I want it.
Yeah, that's a. I mean, compared to the Hot Toys, where they're trying to take your money with the Royal Guards, that's an awesome like deluxe. That's how you do a deluxe figure, man. Like you get so much accessories, like clothing. You can't go wrong with this, man. I really like it. It's dope, and I believe the flap is magnetic from what I saw with the Sideshow Live. So it kind of like that's pretty cool. So I don't know.
Yeah, these have always been my favorite Stormtrooper. It was the Biker Scout guys. So this is 6 scale Scout Trooper, and this looks great. They have a statue 1/4 scale of this particular pose here, but it's way out of my range now. You know, I got to the game too late, but I've always wanted that one. But this looks incredible, just incredible. What you guys think?
Oh yeah,
yeah, it's really cool. I think they're selling the speeder bike now, right?
Yeah, it's part. They also sell the speeder bike here.
Yeah, that's. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to, I mean, like with that Yoda legendary scale, like I'm trying to hold back on the Scout Trooper. It looks amazing, and I had the Darth Maul 6 scale from Sideshow, and like I said, they're really stepping up their game, getting to the point where they might beat out Hot Toys. Yeah, yeah, they're really getting there. They're like a couple steps behind, but they just, the only thing, my complaint and my gripe is with the figures is that they really need to up the quality of the actual figure itself, because after a certain point, like my Darth Maul, kind of like if you shook it, like the legs are like flapping back and forth. So that's my only complaint. But besides that, everything else is like amazing and top high notch quality. So what do you think, Jedi Chris?
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, he too is one of my favorite style troopers. I mean, you know, even the desert, he had the orange shoulder flap, but you see here they've got the holster and the boot, so you know he can easy access when he's chasing down or he gets side by side. I like the detail on his armor, you know, and the fact he's posable, and of course now you're gonna have to buy 2 speeders, so I can have Luke chasing him or him chasing Luke again. Big diorama by the Christmas tree, you know, that would be really awesome. No, I like it. And the fact his boots are dirty, you know, because you're out in this jungle forest, you know, where the dirt's damp and all that stuff. I mean, the detail, they didn't spare any of that. I mean, he's got 2 pair of boots and they're both dirty. So I mean, that just tells you there's not this polished soldier there on some sort of station, you know. I like that. The raw reality. Okay.
All right. So that was good. We got to do that more often. So
Yeah.
we're gonna move on to our next topic. There's a rumor out there when they signed the guys for the Game of Thrones to get them commissioned to do a new trilogy. Does this mean the end for the anthology films? Because you know, it's been said that if Solo's not too successful, that they might scrap the idea of doing the anthology films. You know, just a rumor, no confirmation, but real interested to hear what you guys say. And I'm with you, Paradox. Before we even say it, I really hope they make Boba Fett movie before they even think about scrapping the anthology film. So, Paradox, what do you think, man?
I hope they don't scrap the anthology films. I just feel that it's especially with the success of Rogue One, and in my opinion, Rogue One was better than Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And I love the way they kind of tied everything together and gave a backstory on the characters that we loved, and you know, things that we, you know, like how they got the Death Star plans to the rebels and everything like that. So I really hope they don't. I really hope that Solo, but I don't know. Like, I know that they already are looking for like places to film Obi-Wan. So if anything, I feel like Obi-Wan would be the catalyst for more anthology films, because I feel like that's going to be successful. Rumor has it is that George Lucas is actually back and helping out film the Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Like, he's there scouting I think in Europe, like scouting the scenes and everything and where to film. So that's the rumor, and I really hope that it's true, because I don't think he's directing it, but I feel like he's there to help out. And a rumor, I'm not even sure if it's a rumor, but I heard that he helped film a scene in Solo. So
I heard that too.
You know, like I think like Kathleen Kennedy heard our outcries, and I think she's slowly bringing Lucas back into the mix and helping out, like get these like Star Wars movies going before they kind of venture off on their own. But I hope not. I don't think so. There's so many. I think they're supposed to have like Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and Yoda was supposed to be in the mix of the anthology films. I don't know if there's going to be any more to talk about after that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, Chris, what do you think? Do you think they could film more anthology films after like those 3 that were originally planned?
I think they would, honestly, if you know that they're bringing some of the legacy characters into the new canon set. There's really nothing stopping them from making movies that talks about different characters that we all resonate to, whether they're a bad guy or a good guy or gal. I think having those options in regards to, okay, well, they're gonna have a movie about so and so. Well, if they've showed this person in Rebels, Clone Wars, the movies. Let's say here we got a new cartoon series coming out here soon, so it might show some legacy folks here, and people start liking those characters. There's nothing really saying that, hey, we're only going to do this. I mean, they're going to make money making these anthologies. They just have to make them good. And if there's comic books and novels already dedicated to this character, I mean, we've already got script there. They just got to convert it from a novel into dialogue and action scenes and things of that nature. With this new trilogy, we're nervous and excited because we're gonna have 3 more movies guaranteed. But what era? We've been hearing rumors, but only the people that are in charge know exactly where they're going. So they're gonna let us just speculate and probably cause some, what do you call that, disinformation on our own.
Fake news.
Yeah, basically, we're creating our own fake news talking about it, So I don't think the anthologies are going to go away. I think they just need to be a bit more selective on, okay, well, what do people really like? Let's look at the purchase of comic books, novels, toys. Which ones are like the favorite ones? Which ones are hard to get? Even look on eBay. Which ones are more expensive? Things like that. I think they would go, hey, we can make a movie on this person, and starting from childhood all the way to what have you, or when they were innocent to now they're evil. I mean, you never know. I think the future is unlimited with that one. Yeah,
especially with the current format, where you got trilogy film, anthology film, year after year it's different, they're alternating. But I hear the goal is they want to do like the Marvel movies, they want to have at least 3 Star Wars movies a year to put out. So maybe, there's room for the Game of Thrones trilogy movie and anthology film. I doubt they put all 3 out in the same year. It's just hard to believe they would, because they want to keep people waiting, Plus they have to make the movie. So how could you put, have trilogy, new trilogy, and anthology all in the same year? So I really don't see how they're going to put out 3 movies a year for Star Wars. Because Marvel, they got the MCU and everything, so it's apples and oranges really with that. But it's I thought about that. How many characters could they actually make an anthology film about? And to me, I don't know. Like I said, so they want to do Obi-Wan, cool. Boba, like I said, we really need a Boba movie in my opinion. I've been saying that because we really haven't seen what he's about really. On screen you see him a couple times, but he really didn't get the time that he really, I mean, I guess it was about the Skywalkers and everything, so I guess they really didn't have time to elaborate. But he's definitely a character we need. Yoda I would love to see, because I said that's my favorite Jedi. And and I thought about as far as Rogue One, because Rogue One was like a scenario, wasn't actually a character. And I was thinking, what other scenarios could they do? And I really couldn't think of one. So I don't know. I'm really hoping that's not true. That this would be the end, of the anthology films. But I think everything's based on dollars. So Solo does well, and I really don't think we have anything to worry about.
Well, you figure the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars were mentioned in Episode 4. The getting the Death Star plans were all mentioned in Episode 4. There was other things mentioned in Episode 4, 5, and 6. Scenarios that help the Rebel Alliance or help kind of crush the Empire. Look at those and make these other situational anthology films that fill in the gaps where it was more implied in a few sentences. Now all of a sudden, we can do it. We can make a whole 2-hour movie about it and all the strife that happened and everything else. So I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Just but real quick, what do you guys? Which character do you guys want to see as part of the anthology series?
Other than Boba, I think Ahsoka would be good.
Oh, you hit the nail of the head, man.
And they
And that would bring more. That
like,
would bring more female. Yeah.
Like when she showed up on Rebels and between Clone Wars, because all of a sudden she's taking out 2 and 3 Inquisitors, and what kind of training she went through to get to that level. You know what I mean? And I think Thrawn would be good. If they did that'd be off the hook. So JC would.
Yeah, definitely. Ahsoka would be awesome. Thrawn, of course. Galen Merrick, also known as Star Killer. All that stuff that happens that form the Rebel Alliance. That'd be great to see. I would definitely stand in line for that one. So,
all right.
But you want me to move on to the trivia question?
Just real quick, I what my character that I want to be a part of the anthology series is Jar Jar Binks.
You're dead to me. You are dead to me. Part of me just died right now.
I just want to know what happened to him. That's it. They could make a trilogy out of that. No, I was kidding.
He became a beggar from what I read.
Yeah, in the trilogy that takes place in between Return of the Jedi and the Force Awakens, he becomes old and all this other stuff, and he becomes kind of the village clown or village idiot, so to speak.
Fitting in.
Typecasting, I know.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the giveaway now, which you forgot to do earlier. But
all right, I don't know if you guys can see me. So we have here the 6-inch Black Series Kylo Ren and Rey from the Force Awakens. Mint condition. It's been sitting in a box for quite a while, and it needs to go to a good home. So can you answer this question? Drum roll. All right. Thanks, guys. All right. What's the name of the totem that's important to the Twi'leks, and what is the significance? Now, Twi'leks, the head tails, the Leku, those folks. You might have seen it recently on TV. Hint, hint. So, what is the name of the totem that's important to the Twi'leks, and what is the significance of it? That's it. And if you were watching on Monday, you got the answers right there. Ooh. You're welcome. All right, moving on. Speaking of that, hold on.
Rebels started back up on Monday, and man,
I'm cutting an onion. My eyes are watering. Sorry, give me a second.
We'll get to you last, JC.
Yeah. So spoiler warning, everybody who hasn't watched the
you haven't watched Rebels. Get off this broadcast right now.
Yeah. This is a big spoiler, guys. So,
or are we lying
on you, brother? Because JC not ready to talk yet. So, Paradox, what do you think of the episode? Well, both of the episodes.
Oh man, I was watching it with my kids. It was 9:00. We all got gathered around the fireplace and in our PJs and trying to set the mood. So we're watching it, and everything was great. Like from the beginning of the episode, Kanan was like meditating, from what I remember, and I think wasn't the what's his name, the wolf? What's that called? The yeah, and he was there, right? Like, I guess like he didn't want to go to the mission to do the mission. Like something was telling him not to go, but he ends up going, right? Is that correct? I mean, Thor, like he didn't want to
watch it again.
But he didn't want to go, right? Like originally, he didn't want to go.
He didn't want his emotions. He didn't want his emotions to jeopardize the mission.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't want. He wanted Ezra to make the plan. He didn't want So he didn't want his emotions to cloud the mission because he has feelings for Captain Syndulla. I mean General Syndulla.
Syndulla, yeah.
So, So he had Ezra create the plan to infiltrate the Imperial facility.
Yeah. Everything was going according to plan and everything, and just the ending, man. The first episode from the season break, that was an amazing amazing scene. Like the AT-AT shooting down their like the fuel depot, and they're trying to get away, and all of a sudden you see like it explodes, and then Kanan just kind of like uses the force to stop the explosion from getting to the vehicle, to the spaceship, to the ship. And that's when you knew that was it for Kanan. Oh my gosh, that's how you do a freaking scene like that. Like that's how you do an honorable death. He was using the force the best he could to, I mean, that's an amazing shot. And then General Syndulla went to go and like, grab him, but he just kind of force pushed her back to the ship. And that's when he knew that was it. And what an amazing! My son was tearing up in that scene, because we watched that, those characters grow from season 1 to season 4 to where they are now, and what a big, huge character development from the beginning, and how Kanan developed as a character till the end, the very end. And it was such an emotional and powerful scene. And I just want to point out real quick, throughout the whole series, General Syndulla never kissed Kanan. Whenever they did, they were always interrupted, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they finally kissed, and it was such I can't. Yeah, someone take it away, Thor, before I get emotional here.
I'm gonna tell you, from the very beginning of the episode, I got a feeling of finality was coming. You know what I mean? As if he knew that this was it. You know what I mean? He told Ezra that, please, you make the plan, because my feelings are going to mess everything up.
Mm-hmm.
He changed his appearance, and, he wasn't acting himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as time went on, you just felt like, it was a uneasy feeling the whole episode. You know what I mean? And then finally, when Rubber hit the road, and it was his time, and I don't know if you noticed, right before the explosion went off, his eyes turned blue again.
Yeah.
You can see, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And something I want to get to later is another theory that's out there. But I mean, that episode was everything that makes Star Wars special. I mean, I wish they could translate that to movie form. You know what I mean? And it was just, it was a special episode. I was like, holy, you know what I mean? It was crazy. It was very, very good episode, but it was sad. It was sad. I didn't want to see old Kanan go. He wasn't my favorite character, but he went out like a soldier, though. I give him big props.
Yeah. But I hate to always, but I just feel that had like such a resonance to, like, even though that character was only 4 seasons, and that you could say, like you said, like, not your favorite like Jedi, like, out of all the Star Wars like movies and TV series, but they did such an awesome job in how to prepare his honorable death. And I just, like you said, wish to translate that to the movies, recent movies, wink wink, but it's just it's just one of those things, like, man, that's such a powerful scene, and you felt it throughout the whole episode till the very end. And really good job, Dave Filoni, hands down one of the best like Star Wars animated directors of all time, man.
They need to put you in charge, Dave Filoni, seriously.
They need you to give you a movie, man, to direct.
Yeah,
seriously.
That's serious business. Jedi Chris, you think you're ready, man?
Yes, I am ready. I'm ready. I mean, you want to talk about some impactful scenes. When they had the comic book visionaries, they kind of filled in the gaps of a lot of the Star Wars movies. And you had Obi-Wan fighting Darth Maul again, and they're older. Now all of a sudden you're seeing in the Rebels that Obi-Wan, fights Darth Maul again, and then Darth Maul, dies in Obi-Wan's arms. You want to talk about impact? Oh my gosh. And then now all of a sudden, this character that's only been around for 4 years, that my son and I have been watching every Saturday, thanks to DVR. We actually I'd record it whatever time it came on, and we'd watch it Saturday morning right after breakfast. So from age 2 to now, my son and I would watch that. So I knew, my heart sunk. I knew when Hera said "I love you," when she finally admitted that she cared about him. That's when I knew something bad was going to happen right then. I just knew it, because what happens after that? Now his vision and his mind will be clouded and all that stuff. And he used that force bubble to keep the flames back. And then when she went to try to grab him, he force pushed her back into the aircraft. But the thing was, he lost his lightsaber. And that was the first thing. I'm like, okay, he lost his lightsaber. Okay, that's a symbol right there. Because you remember in the episode 2, the movie, this lightsaber this weapon is your life. Do not lose it. And he lost it. Saving the one he loves. And they kind of hinted about this passion, this bond. It was kind of hinted in the novel, and where he meets her for the first time. He ends up joining the Rebel Alliance after being a smuggler and all that. And it was very hard for me to see that explosion. And of course, obviously, he disappears. They took out all the fuel depot, what they needed to manufacture the weapons of death for the Empire. So it was kind of a win-win. He saved the one he loves. He saved his team. He put a huge, crippling, death blow to the production of the spaceships that they were making there on Lothal, and got that special totem back from Hera. So hint, hint. So I it really hit me hard, man. I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my gosh. And of course, my son had a friend over and we're watching it, and I went, okay, I gotta hold back the tear because I can feel my eyes welling up a bit. It hit me hard because I really identified with, Kanan kind of having not a whole lot, and all of a sudden he's found a purpose, and now he's found this young kid. He's kind of trying to teach him how to be a Jedi, and he's kind of rough around the edges. And as he's moving forward, he's becoming more refined. His leadership is very strong. And then all of a sudden, goes out with a warrior's death. And I thought, if you can choose your way out, I mean, that was beautiful. Dave Filoni did an outstanding job, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got planned for the rest of them. I'm just hoping that he doesn't kill all of them off. We do know that General Syndulla's name is piped during the Rogue One invasion there at planet Scarif. So I know she's going to be around for a little bit longer. I just don't know about the rest of the crew, but I'm hoping nothing too bad happens. But the previews already show the Emperor saying something about Jedi Bridger, so I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really went hard on this episode. I mean, Hera was getting tortured, and and I was wondering how they were going to do that with the ships, because you don't see those ships in the original trilogy.
Uh-huh.
And so I was wondering what was going to happen with that. So that pretty much answers that. And before we move on to the next episode, do you have anything to add else on this episode, Paradox?
Yeah. I just noticed that the Death Troopers and the Stormtroopers are horrible shots.
You just noticing that, huh?
No, I mean, like, the Death Troopers supposed to be a little bit more elite than the Stormtroopers, but damn, they still miss.
Then what about what's his name? I can't even the gray haired guy. I can see his face right now. Tarkin sitting there talking with Thrawn, saying they're talking about Project Stardust.
Stardust,
like,
oh yeah.
And then they have the Death Troopers helping in the chase. So I'm like, okay, there's some overlap, because remember we talked about, we hope that kind of, if it's going to end or it melts into, the Rogue One, and hopefully, episode 4 when they actually do the pursuit to blow up the Death Star. But they mentioned that it went right with the books, so this is awesome, so that resonated for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really love the connection that they're trying to do with the Rogue One and the Rebel series, and it's flowing really well. They mentioned what's his name? Oh my gosh, I can't think of his name. Director Krennic, and Grand Moff mentioned that as like Director Krennic has this this plan, Stardust, like you mentioned. So I really love that, and just that whole episode itself was like one of the best episodes I've seen throughout the whole series. So that, and the Obi-Wan versus Darth Maul, that was such a beautiful one.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, there's so many, man.
Vader and Ahsoka.
Vader and Ahsoka, yeah. Oh my gosh, just such a awesome TV show.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do now, like, you know, with my kids, like after this is done. And I really hope that they come up with another animated series quick, because, you know, this is such a, like with you, Chris, it's such a bonding moment with me and my kids, you know.
I agree. I mean, there's rumors about this new series that's supposed to take place around Empire Strikes Back, going all the way up to The Last Jedi, or they might change that, but that's what I've been hearing. So we might get to see our ragtag group of Rebels together again. But I'm hoping that some of the Rebels guys that are on the show now somehow marry up or blend in, you know, kind of passing the torch, so to speak, with the folks that we grew up with from 77 to now. So
yeah.
Well, speaking of that, the next episode, they showed 2 episodes on Monday. It was called Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And that one, I don't know, I don't want to say anticlimactic after the first one, but I mean, it was good. But the Rebels team was feeling the effects of Kanan meeting his end. And Zeb and Sabine wanted to go out and get some payback and everything. So, you know, that's their nature. You know, they like to blow up stuff. And so, you know, they go out and, you know, they go to the facility and they run into, I forgot his name, what's his name, Thrawn's guy and everything. And they figure out how to take him out, you know. And a lot of stuff happened in this episode too. The Loaf Wolves go after Ezra and try to get him back on his feet and everything. And Paradox, what do you think about this one?
You know, like when, you know, we watched back to back, obviously, and it was such a, like you said, anticlimactic episode, because you go from that and then,
right.
You know, like you feel down with these characters. Like you're like, shoot, like we lost, you know, Kanan, and you really felt like how they were feeling. You're so right. I really like the setup of that, and, you know, like the anger that, you know, what's her name, Zeb and what's her name? I can't say. Sabine. Yeah, sorry. How they felt and how they wanted to get revenge. You know, you felt it too. And Sabine looked different, right? Like she had like dyed her hair like darker. Is that, and her armor's different, right?
Yeah, she's always doing paint jobs and doing her hair different and all kind of stuff. Like, I mean, when a few episodes ago they infiltrated some kind of Imperial facility and she painted it all black so they wouldn't know who she was. So
yeah, but I just like, you know, like how this is going, like how like those colors represented her character being more mature and showing more of, like, you know, like leadership. And she was like telling Zeb, like, don't kill that guy, like, don't, that's you know, like, as opposed to before she was a little immature and, like, you know, like, so you could see like the maturity of her character throughout the whole series. But I just want to know.
Surprised me because she's Mandalorian. I figured she'd say off this dude, you know.
Yeah, but you know, I guess like for the team and like I said, like her character, like she just becoming more of a leader also. Right. With my question is with the Loth Wolf, like how is that Kanan? You know, like I know
I was thinking the same thing, especially like, because it has blue eyes too. And
yeah.
Yeah, so it could be because he's actually talking like the other Lost Wolves would like say one word or so they just keep saying doom, doing that was it. This one they having a conversation, you know what I mean? So
well, they're force sensitive, and I think what they were trying to tell Ezra is, you know, here he is, you know, depressed and down because his master's dead, and they're basically telling him, you know, keep your head on straight and, you know, go back to the temple and you know, recalibrate yourself because the fight's still coming, and you know, don't lose sight of what's important, you know. And they did it in a way where it wasn't blunt; it was implied. Which we're going to see more of the Loth Wolves. I mean, those things are monstrous; they're so freaking huge.
Yeah,
I'd be scared if they're, you know, chasing me. But the fact is, I mean, they can basically not teleport, but they can run through stuff and be on the other side of the planet. I don't know what they call that. I don't know if it's teleporting or some sort of a bridge between the space-time continuum that they can do. So they used it in the past to help these guys escape from inside a cave. So I can only imagine what else is coming. But if they can tap into the force spirits of the Fallen Jedi, then I have a feeling that Kanan is very much an integral part of the Senior Wolf that has what looks like the Death Watch Mandalorian symbol on his between his ears. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's the same symbol that's on his shoulder armor. If you guys didn't catch that, so
I didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
it's kind of got the 3-fingered claw kind of look. It's between the wolf's forehead, and it was the same thing that was on his right shoulder armor. So just throwing it out there.
I just want to know. So they were, I guess they were because it looked like they were angry at what's his name? I can't think right now.
Ezra. Yeah.
Ezra. Oh my gosh. They were like kind of angry at Ezra, and like they were chasing him, and they were just like looked like they were gonna attack him, but they were like kind of like playfully like hitting him on the side. Is that like something like they're trying to wake him up? Are they angry at him for feeling down? And I guess like
getting his attention is what they were doing.
Oh, okay.
And they were doing it obviously in an animalistic way because they hunt, wolves hunt in a pack, so they were doing it to kind of get him to get his head on straight, And then he wakes up and is like, "Did that really happen?" And then of course that big rock, what do you call that, tablet was still laying there. You're like, "Oh gosh, maybe it did happen." So yeah.
And that's from the Jedi Temple, right? So I guess he's going to go to the Jedi. Which Jedi Temple did we?
He was on Lothal. Yeah,
the
one on Lothal, right? Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, but it was a good episode and such a good catalyst for the rest of the season. So I'm really excited.
Well, it definitely left you with more questions. So I think that draws you in. So now we have this big bam, and now there's all this, collateral damage after effect. Now what's going to happen? I mean, they bested one of Thrawn's really good bounty hunters and didn't kill him, but spray painted the crap out of him and put him on the speeder and like sent him back, kind of saying, "Hey, we're better than you. And by the way, we just took care of your really awesome bounty hunter. So what now?" So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the fact we get to, now that it's back on, we get to break these down every show now. So that's pretty cool.
Oh heck yeah! Oh heck yeah! We have any winners yet, or are we?
Yeah, I was about to ask. Do we have any winners there?
Wizard.
The wizard behind the camera.
Not looking at us.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
We got any winners there, brother? Yeah. Do we have any winners?
But just really quick is just that I wish they kind of showed Thrawn and the Emperor meeting up. That would have been so epic, right? Because he left Lothal to go meet up with him, right?
Yeah, I mean they show that, or they talk about that in the book about Thrawn. I'm waiting for the sequel to come out. What's it called? Alliances, Thrawn Alliances, something like that. Yeah. He meets with the Emperor, and I think the Emperor senses his full magnitude and capacity. So, everything's a test with the Emperor, right? But he does not fail the Emperor. Well, one iota. So, I would like to see some of that as well.
Yeah. All right. So, who do you think is next? Do you think there's going to be more characters that's going to die? What's your opinion?
Well, one, I think if they go into the temple, because when they showed that preview, the Emperor showed up at the temple. So I think this next episode we might see Palpatine.
His full magnitude and capacity.
Last we saw the Empire had taken over that Jedi temple. But I really got Sabine and Zeb. I got a bad feeling they're not gonna make it. That's just because they kind of reckless, and I mean not reckless, but they like confrontation, and I just got a bad feeling.
You got a bad feeling?
They're not gonna make it.
I can't wait for Emperor to show up. That's going to be such an epic scene. Are we getting 2 episodes in the next one, or just 1?
2. It's 2 every week.
Yeah, it looks like according to DVR, it looks like 2. So like an hour long.
Wow.
No winner? Oh, that's
no winner.
Oh man, y'all gotta watch the show, man. It was easy. That was an easy one.
I'm sorry, guys. No winner.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes.
I guess the first person that can email the answer to us, even in within the hour after the show. I mean, obviously the email will be date and time stamped. We'll honor that. Unless no one really likes the Black Series figures, and Well, that's not cool because they're really cool. I got them posing upstairs. But I had a couple extra, and I figured, hey, man, these were the first series for Force Awakens. So I figured, hey, this is a good giveaway. And I've got more stuff, guys. Trust me. I got more.
So we appreciate everybody watching. It's been a great show. I mean, this has been one of our better shows, man. So from all of us, all of you, may the Force be with you. We appreciate you watching. And I don't know, we're on next week or week. I think it's the week after next. Correct. So I believe CV's coming on tomorrow, right? I think we're doing both this week.
I'm not sure. Next week.
Next week. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought we were doing both of these. So CV show will be on next week. So that means we're back on in 2 weeks, and that means we'll have 4 shows to talk about.
Oh man, yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Keep watching and appreciate everybody. May the Force be with you.
May the Force be with you guys.